Hello, everybody. Welcome to this conversation with one of my wonderful clients, Jacquie. We're going to be spending the next sort of 20 minutes-ish talking to you about Jacquie and about her experience of life and of us exploring together. So I'm really, really looking forward to getting to meet Jacquie and hear about her journey. And as always, listen for the resonance with your own experience. Listen for where you see yourself reflected in Jacquie, where you see, oh yeah, that's me too, because it always has a real big impact on us when it's beautiful to see ourselves reflected in another and to just gain that clarity of our own experience, of our own shifts, of our own journey, and potentially also of what's next for you. So Jacquie, welcome.
Hi.
Wonderful to have you here. So Jacquie, let's start with just getting to know you. Tell us about your life, tell us about your work, tell us anything you want to share about just you as a person in the world.
Yeah, well, I am a dental hygienist. I have been in the field of health for the last 30 plus years, and alongside that, in the last few years created a coaching practice, and my work is my week is shared doing both, and I think working closely with people on a very intimate one-on-one basis for so long, I began to see something really profound and in the sort of the interplay between disease and health, and that's kind of what brought me into this beautiful space and conversation with you in a sort of roundabout way.
Yeah, do you want to share a little history of kind of what that journey was prior to coming to
me? Well, and sort of as I started seeing something kind of deeper, I knew that there was something more sort of at play, rather than just sort of, we have to change behavior to be able to manage, fix problems, and with regard to our our health, in body, whatever. And and of course I kind of started on the traditional coaching path. I knew that I kind of wanted to help people at a kind of more profound, sort of deeper level, out of the surgery situation. And of course, it led me down that sort of psychology based coaching, a lot of changing behaviors, like I said, managing, fixing things on the outside to make everything hopefully everything change on the inside. But it kind of wasn't working. It wasn't working for me. And also I could see that seeing patients regularly, it was a little bit, but it wasn't, that their oral health, or it just wasn't changing. It wasn't, they weren't being able to manage their inflammation or their disease. And it just got me really fascinated into kind of, there's something missing here for me, something really profound. Even though, that profoundness was a sort of deeper kind of knowing that there was something there and it needed exploring. And so that kind of took me into the psycho-spiritual sort of realm of coaching. That was kind of the portal that cracked this sort of fascinating, curious sort of being open to looking for more, really. But again, that kind of, even though it's so profound, the shifts I kind of had initially in that area, there was still a sort of falling short. There was something deeper that I kind of felt was being overlooked or bypassed sort of thing. And that is kind of when I came across you. I kind of had listened to sort of stuff that I'd heard you on podcasts, other people's podcasts. I'd been in a sort of similar sort of coaching container sort of programs as you, and I kind of heard your voice. I heard you, and there was just something that from that more grounded knowing space within me knew that you were somebody that I needed to speak to.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
The next question was going to be what brought you to me, but then there you go, that's it.
Yeah,
so there was some kind of yeah.
And I think as I started to sort of get curious with, you know, what was really going on at this deeper level, I knew that was the space that everything had to come from, rather than the other way around. It was so obvious that, you know, all change has to come from this deeper space, this knowing, the intellect, that's secondary, and this fuel, this deeper sense of who we are and what we are, and life, and the nature behind everything was so profound. And I think from that space, this is why I kind of could hear who I kind of resonated with, and the words, they just sort of hit home, I suppose.
I love how all the way through you're really guided by that, like, deeper knowing, that deeper resonance. So I'm guessing within that, potentially the mind was saying, don't be daft, Jackie, don't do this, don't do that, but there was always something drawing you through.
Yeah, definitely that mind, that sort of, you know, the mind of the usual sort of oh no, stick with this, the familiar, the, you know, sort of was always sort of pulling me back. But I don't know, that sense, I knew that I had to, even though it was hard, it just felt so real and true that I couldn't ignore it. And yeah,
I love that. And so can you remember, Jackie, what was going on for you either in your life or in your exploration, that was kind of like the thing you wanted to understand more, explore more with me when you first came to me at that time?
Yeah, I think it was initially it was with conversations with clients, you know, how to articulate and to be able to really, you know, I knew that this was it sort of thing, and you know, everything else was secondary. All the stuff, the brilliant stuff I've kind of learned, you know, initially is great, but until we really know what is going on, it just falls short, like I said, and so I kind of struggled a little bit, because it's so intangible, really, how to fully articulate this in a world of sort of science and research, and, you know, that it just seemed a bit like, oh my gosh. And that's how I kind of came to you. But then it was sort of, there's more I'm not seeing for me. It kind of opened this space that I kind of had been suppressing within me, and that took me on a journey back to me. And everything else then makes more sense, because I think until we really get this for ourselves, I don't think we can guide, not authentically guide anyone to towards themselves, even though, you know, yeah, they can do it, but it might take a bit longer. But, you know, it's yeah, that was so profound. Once I started, you know, having those deeper realizations of who I was.
I love that. It's so, isn't it, with probably with every form of coaching or guidance, where we have a challenge that we think is the problem, that we think we want to work on, and then we get into connection with whoever we're working with, and we realize, oh no, there was something else going on, there was something else available. And whether that's from a psychological perspective, I remember in my original training we got taught about the door handle moment, where, you know, the clients come in with a certain challenge and you've helped them with that challenge, and then just as the session's about to leave, they go, oh, but this with my mother or my father or whatever this bigger thing is that was going on beneath the surface kind of shows itself. So I think we can love these surface challenges for their doorway opportunities, because they bring us into the conversation, don't they? And then as you say, I love how you said it kind of opened a space for something deeper that was really what was wanted, as you said, that full seeing for yourself of who you are, which as you say, that's the ground from which we can then authentically provide another really beautiful. So tell us, Jacquie, then about some of them or all of the things you've engaged with me in over the time that we've worked together. There's been a few, but just to give people a sense of the kinds of different offerings there are. And
well, first of all, it was sort of one-on-one, one-to-one coaching with you, and then I joined your membership group, your circle group, which is just amazing. There is a breadth, and the stuff that you share and put out, it's just huge. And you know, I think there's so much different, you know, you can find anything that you want, but it seems to be the right thing. You can go in and you can sift through, or you can follow it. Amazing. And the community, I think the community is so beautiful, nurturing, supportive. I love your membership group. It's beautiful. And also your beautiful book with Sarah. I was in your book group, and that in itself was just brilliant. I really enjoyed working through that, and obviously helping support you in nurturing that to fruition. And I've been a couple of book groups with you, and again meeting other sort of new people that like come in just for that, or everything that you kind of share and produce and put out, and it's just amazing. It's always been there at the right time as well.
And last September as well, we had Money in Me, didn't we?
Money in Me, that was great. I mean, it was about money, but it was just open. That's the thing, you know, you sort of start a course thinking, yes, this is going to be about this, but it kind of it's like a spider's web. It just opens up, you know, all sorts. Another
doorway opportunity.
And just being, I suppose, you know, part of your group, you kept updated with, you know, new things, and it's exciting to be able to, you know, to see what you're doing, and be first in the door with new stuff.
It's a big thing with the community, isn't it? That's my space for experimentation, for trying new things, for giving you guys first dibs on things, for reduced pricing, all the it's like that's the place to go for all that kind of stuff.
Isn't it? It's like a playground. It's like everything is something that you can just be completely yourself. I think another sort of member sort of said, it's like, Friday fix, just brilliant, we just love it, on a Friday when we meet up, our weekly calls. And it's really grounding, it nurturing, and a warm space. I love it.
Yeah, I love that. I would really hope, Jacquie, that what you've described there is what flows through everything I do, that kind of, that sense of warmth and safety and being able to be yourself.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, oh my goodness, if we had a world full of people who felt safe in their experience and could just enjoy life being themselves, like, what a different world we would live in. So I love that that's your experience of it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think being with you in any capacity, really, you have this beautiful, gentle way of guiding people, but almost it's like guiding people back. You never you always hold them there, but it's a very gentle, it's not there's no forcing, there's no this, you just have this very intuitive way of just knowing everybody, the way you can you can have so many different people in a space, in a Zoom room, but you kind of know everybody's little works or whatever. You can just hold everyone, and that's really special.
Oh, thank you. And I'd like to just acknowledge that is something which has become available only through this very exploration. So I guess, for me too, I couldn't have done that before because I was so much in my knowing mind. I would have been trying to hold all that at the level of knowledge, and that's just impossible.
Yeah.
So what a delight that I don't have to do that.
Yeah.
And I can absolutely trust in there's something much more intelligent which we are.
Yeah.
Which absolutely guides the words for that person in that moment at that time. It's
huge.
It's huge, isn't it? I'm so thankful for that being possible for this exact reason, because then when that's your experience on the receiving end of it, it's that's what it's all about. That's the whole point. That's how it feels. So
it's just joined so many dots, brought everything almost like full circle, that that like it's not about life isn't that every after we've kind of had this experience, or had got whatever, then life's all going to be brilliantly rosy, but oh my gosh, it's so much easier to navigate, really. to just, and the more we see more. Our eyes open wider all the time.
I love that. And I get the sense from that of something else I would hope to bring, which is that sense of integration and inclusion. It's kind of, this is the place to come when you perhaps need to integrate all the bits and pieces that you've collected through your journey and bring it all back into inclusion, kind of like you said, that full circle. We come back and we're with it all again, but in a completely fresh and different way that is navigated so much more easily.
I think for me initially it was like, oh my god, I've wasted so much time, and I've been doing all these things, and I really should have come to here, but then it's like, no, everything is, it's just perfect, because with this, it just, everything makes sense, everything. And all else it's just stuff.
It's always perfect. Absolutely. Always going exactly where we need to go next, for whatever reason. That becomes clear. Amazing. Jacquie, is there anything else that you'd like to share that you feel you've not had the chance to while we've been talking?
Just whoever is listening or hearing something. It's yeah, just look, open your eyes and be curious to this conversation, whatever something just sort of speaks to you, or this a little sort of, oh yeah, this sounds interesting, or even if it sounds crazy, or then yeah, just have a little look, and yeah, definitely check Helen out because she's wonderful.
Thank you. Thank you, Jacquie. It's been amazing to spend this time with you, and yeah, hear things from your perspective, because as much as we do a lot of stuff together, but we don't often have this kind of conversation, so I really appreciate it. Yeah, thank you so much. Have a great day.
You're very welcome. Thank you.
Thank you everyone for watching. Lots of love.